I believe the term English scum was used at one point. Again, not very happy. And honestly, I can't blame them. People goof up. What's important is how you react afterwards to that. For years, they had that in their bank account to run their business, to feed their family. Their family's fed because of your money that they took. Companies, if you're watching this, respect what that entails. What's up, Rockstars? Regretfully, today I have a bit of some negative news for you guys. We'll be talking about two particular controversies, some issues that people are having. I'd like to bring some light to. So let's go ahead and discuss those. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. Now, as always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is because of them that videos just like this are possible, because I can critique the industry at large, particular companies, shout out issues that consumers are having so that we kind of have a little bit of a voice. I mean, I'm not much, but I do what I can. And that is all because of them and the independence they bring, because I can rely on them for the majority of the funding of this channel. And I know that they're there month in and month out. If you appreciate videos just like this or any other video I make, every single week for you guys, there is a link down below. Even $1 a month helps out greatly. Thank you so much. Let's go and move off from that and move on to the issues. Now, there's two here. I'm going to cover one that I haven't covered at all first, and then I'm going to kind of reiterate another one that I kind of led to, and I'll show you kind of the end to end. Okay, here's what happened, and here's where we're at right now. So, starting things out with the Everrain on our Patreon Discord. What we normally say is the Never Rain, because they kind of came to Kickstarter with an idea, not really a game, and then they had to make the game afterwards. So it took a long time, kind of like a True Von Legends kind of thing, right? Or a Dawn of Madness, right? Same thing. You get those games that are like really early, and some games that are like almost done, right? And you get the whole gamut in between. It's definitely one of the early ones, right? So Everrain finally delivering though after all of these years. Hooray! It's finally happening. The reason I'm showing you a Spanish version is because this was on offer. It was on the Kickstarter proper, and it's also on their pledge manager here on GameFound, where you could get the Spanish version of the game. Now, they have here a little disclaimer that, hey, if for any reason we are unable to produce the language version you have chosen, an English version will be sent. Okay, so just normal kind of cover of butts kind of thing, right? But it's a Kickstarter, right? So obviously they'll like talk to you, right? No, Grimlord Games doesn't communicate. So let's see what the issue is. This was just sent out 2 days before the games actually hit the hub there locally. This is to every Spanish backer. They got an email from Grimlord Games saying, "Hi there, we are emailing you for some news regarding the order of the Everrain. Your order of the Everrain. Unfortunately, our Spanish partner, Last Level," I'll come back to that, "has pulled out of producing the Spanish translated version of a game and its expansions. Despite us trying to seek an alternative partner or work collectively with Spanish retailers to make up the minimum order quantity required for E-Star production runs, this has not been possible. As a result, we are sad to confirm that we have been unable to produce a Spanish version of this game at this time. We understand this and will be deeply disappointing for you and offer our sincerest apologies. We propose instead to send you an English version of your order as per our terms and conditions on here on GameFound, with a link to what I just read to you about how they will send you an English version if they can't make it." So let's reread that just a little bit. Okay, so what they're saying is, unfortunately, our Spanish partner, Last Level, have pulled out of producing the Spanish translated version. Now, how I read that, because there's no timetable given, is that this was a recent thing. They just pulled out, dropped the ball on them. That stupid Last Level, right? Speaking of which, you name drop something to cast blame when it's done this way. There are ways to do otherwise, but often you say, well, this, and you want the blame to go to that, right? It's why you name drop it. There wasn't, hey, sorry, we were going to do it, but our partner, dropped out and we were trying to do that. Like, you name drop, and you're like, this person, Last Level, dropped the ball, right? They pulled out from producing the Spanish translated version of the game and its expansions. And there's obviously nothing that Grimlord Games could do with that. And in fact, they tried to find alternative partners. They've done so much, but with their sincerest apologies, they are going to send you an English version. Now, the problem with this is when you give a name, you can contact them, which is exactly what I did and many others did. And this is a response we got. This is my email and my response from Last Level. It says, hello, Michael. We left the project in May to June of 2020. Now, I'm going to stop right there because really that's about as far as we need to read. This was not something new. This happened a long time ago, and Grimlord Games said nothing. They said nothing. They didn't say, oh, hey, guys, sorry, we lost our translator, but we know what, we're going to work on getting a new one, but we understand if this causes you any worry that you might not be able to get it. If for some reason that's the case, we do offer our normal refund policy where we get part back way back in 2020, right? But no, they said nothing. They told you nothing until 2 days before it's already there, well past the refund policy. They purposely withheld information. It's the same thing CMON did when they magically remembered to tell you about a retail pledge after the Kickstarter. That's why they do it. These things are timed on purpose. It's why they sent an update that only happened right after the PM, so that you're locked in there, so you can't do anything about it. If the refund policy and the PM overlap, like, they do this timing stuff on purpose. It's a very common tactic. It's not just Grimlord Games. A lot of companies do this. When you see stuff like this, pay attention to the timeline. Like, they'll not mention it, but if you pay attention, it's pretty obvious what's going on. Grimlord Games told us that they will announce the Last Level pulled out due to how COVID-19 situation. Now, again, this is a translation. So, since then we were no longer part of the project. Now, almost 2 years later, we have discovered that the statement is launched 2 days ago. We launched today a statement explaining this in Spanish for all our Spanish backers. I cannot imagine how frustrating it is to, for whatever reason, say, no, we can't do this translation, so we're pulling out, and then find out that the company you were working with told no one until at the very end, and then name dropped you and to insinuate that, oh, you pulled out. It was them that pulled out. Yeah, back in 2020, you dumb nuts. Shame on Grimlord Games. Shame on them for that manipulative practice of not telling everybody what is going on. Shame on them for treating their backers that way. Now, much like world events right now, right? Just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean it doesn't matter. I know that you may not be that Spanish speaker that just got shafted and just got pretty much lied to for 2 years while they knew something wasn't going to happen and said nothing until it was too late for you to get any kind of deal out of it. Because it's not like they forgot. They didn't forget when they put the English thing on there and shipped it to them, right? There's no forgetting. There's no forgetting for 2 years. Oh, by the way, yeah, I forgot we're not doing that for our customers. It's purposeful and it's sad. And just because it's not maybe you doesn't mean it doesn't matter. This matters. It matters when a company, especially in the board game space, which is generally actually pretty darn good, treats their customers this bad. Shame on Grimlord Games. That is despicable. And you will not be getting my money in the future. Now, other people can decide what to do with this information, but I want no business transaction with a company that treats their customers that way, to purposely manipulate and lie and cheat them out of a deal, and then try and blame another company who hasn't even been involved with your crap for 2 years. And you know what? They're probably better for it, to be honest. It sounds like they're probably better than you. All right, so that is unfortunate. And of course, people are upset. Because, I mean, obviously they are. Word on the street is that there was a lot of posts on the Facebook that are no longer there, but they were like all caps angry like this too. I believe the term English scum was used at one point. Again, not very happy, and honestly, I can't blame them. Okay, let's talk about Parasol Gathering Darkness. $170,000 almost. So a big success for them. They've actually had to cancel their previous one, and it's because the campaign page just was not well. They didn't do a lot of outreach. There was a lot they could have improved, and obviously now the campaign page is much improved, and you can see what looks like a good product. I've said this myself, actually has on offer, and people are excited about it, and that is awesome. The problem is there was also a whole bunch of people that canceled their pledge, and before that they made sure to tell everybody why they canceled their pledge. Let's talk about that. So, Right here, you can see that for the next 44 minutes here, right? So it's for the first day only. It's an early bird. You get the VIP special core game for $89, right? Typical early bird thing. What's not typical is, and what they did other than their other competitors, is this. So every single one of their competitors, in other words, the entire rest of the industry but them, is doing this. And I know there are probably exceptions. I don't care about exceptions. I care about the general rule. And in most cases, and I've covered a ton of these, you simply either click the notify me on launch, Kickstarter preview page, or you go to their website and enter their email for a newsletter. They charged for that newsletter. They charged $5 deposit, and then that would lock you into that exclusive VIP discount. Putting $5 down locks in a 42% discount off our MSRP of $170. There is no other mention of any other benefit but this. This is how they advertise it. This is what they said you get. Okay, that's important. Now, the problem is, they kept doing that too, right? There's still time to upgrade to VIP status for only $5 to lock in your 42% discount. Lock in that exclusive discount. So exciting to get that exclusive discount. It wasn't even always $5. Originally, it was $1. You can see in their Facebook page, it was never even updated. And this kind of sloppiness continues, right? They actually had a pre-made email that they were going to do the day of the campaign launch saying, we've made thousands of dollars, come join us. And they accidentally sent it early and then had to send an email apologizing for that because it wasn't even supposed to happen. So like thousands was like bolded and everything like that. Like it's been a little sloppy here. There's been some warning flags where they're not updating everything. So here it says $1, there it says $5. At one point it said $99 and it was $89 and it was $81 off instead of $71 off. And they've had a slew of bad communication around this, right? Who do you think they continue to name drop and blame? They continue to name drop their marketing firm. They are just doing what their marketing firm is. Well, who is that? Well, that's Launch Boom. Now, I don't care about Launch Boom one way or another, except to point out that just like last level, just like Grimlord Games, the instant reaction is to name drop the other company and say, oh, it's because of them. We're just doing what we're told. We're mindless. We have no, feelings of our own. They say type these words and we type those words. Now, that's not how it works. You type what you typed. Don't blame Launch Boom. All right. You can hear all sorts of crap on there. You can pay for bad advice. You can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's you that did it. So anyway, the problem with this is that $5 they just took. It doesn't give you a discount. So in other words, if you're the VIP member, you paid $5 more than everybody else day one. They actually charged you more for it because they gave you $5 and then they took that and now you still have to back the $89. What they're saying is that it gives you access to this VIP special even after the dollar. So if you're one of the few people that pay $5 extra and then don't show up day one, you can still get the discount. And that's all it was doing. That exclusive discount is exclusive after day one. Essentially, they just forgot to mention that, and they forgot to mention any other thing. So here's how this kind of went down. Now, one thing I would like to point out is that I give tough love. I push because at the end of the day, nobody got improvement by not asking for things, by not demanding better. Right? That's how you improve. I don't even sell a product, and yet the feedback you guys provide me is how I act on things. Otherwise, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, right? And then you guys say, oh, hey, hey, you could probably do this better. Or, hey, this was better. Or the audio was better. Or the visual was better. A patron of mine just got done telling me how I look too pasty white. Part of that's just my problem. I'm kind of pasty white, but part of that is just how I'm configuring the video and all that, right? And so, okay, I can go look at that, right? Like you don't get changed by not demanding things, right? Like that's how that works. And I push hard for that so that we can get change. And we will, and I'll end on that. But first, let's read my first push here. So Lawn Dog Games, that's the name of them. I'd like to be fairly upfront here. Your marketing strategy is indeed a strategy, but it's a slimy one akin to selling old folks a vacuum they don't need by asking to get into their house and not leaving easily when asked to. That's that $5. In other words, what they said in the comments is that our marketing firm, Launch Boom, they always mention Launch Boom. It's important to mention Launch Boom every time. It's a marketing thing. Said that if you get them to spend $5, then they're investing more and the traction to make that a sale is higher. Well, yes, of course, it's the sunken cost fallacy, right? I've already spent $5. I lose that $5. You lost it anyway. You lose that $5. if you don't do it. So then you're more likely to go all in. And it's a manipulative mind marketing game, right? It's the same reason a vacuum salesman goes to an old lady's home and asks to demo it on her carpet, because then he's in her house. And now she has to ask him to leave and demand he leaves. And then he makes a big fuss. And you know what? Eventually she buys a freaking vacuum so the guy leaves. That's why they do that. It's all they do. It's a marketing strategy. Yes, it's legitimate. It's the same kind of thing. It's, hey, give me a little bit so you feel guilty for leaving it. And so now I got you better. Ideally, your product sells itself. If it doesn't, you rely on tactics like this. Yes, it is valid, but it's generally some way to do business. You get to choose how you run your company, of course. If that's the company you want to be, that's your prerogative. You said to receive this offer, simply place a $5 deposit and you will be locked in for an exclusive discount. You can claim you're dumbfounded if you wish that people wouldn't read exclusive discount as a discount only for them if they paid. I can dismiss this as a petty excuse for manipulative practices if I wish as well. There were people canceling, tons of people. Like, go in and look in the comments if you want. Scroll down there, see that, check their Discord. There was a plethora of people freaking out saying, why am I as a VIP paying $5 extra now? Where's my discount? Everybody else has the same discount as me. Why is it that is a $5 discount there? And they kept responding, no. That $5 just got you access to this for forever and access to the Discord, which they didn't mention in any of their marketing emails. And it was false anyway. And access to the email, which again, that's not how they're advertising it. They're advertising it by saving money with an exclusive discount. And that's how a ton of people took it. Literally, I never saw anybody say otherwise. Everybody was saying that. And their response was, well, we're just doing the marketing thing. So sorry you didn't understand. Sorry you didn't understand. I guess we didn't think about it. So that's where that came from. You worded it that way on purpose, the same way those crappy door-to-door slimeball salesmen ask to come into your home to sell the product. After all, just like a $5 deposit, the conversion rate to a sale goes higher once they do. You know all about that manipulative tactic, don't you? Yes, because they did the same thing. Another gem of great transparency with your customers, which is sarcasm. Of course, it's still a manipulative marketing speech to trick people into thinking something other than what's really going on. So here's another quote from them. Hi, Mark. The $5 reserves the VIP price for the entirety of our campaign, gives access to our Discord, VIP, Facebook group, etc. Odd that you didn't word it that way in the campaign. You never once advertised it that way. It was always about the exclusive discount that you would get and nothing else. That is what it was. It never mentioned no Facebook group. It never mentioned no VIP, Discord or anything like that, right? Your Discord link is publicly posted below in the comments. Now, he later apologized for this, saying that he pasted it, but it was just completely open. It's just, you put that link in there and you have access. They didn't have a bot to check their email list to make sure there's a role given to people or anything like that. It's just kind of a, hey, we'll share this and hopefully you don't share this link with anybody else because it just works for everybody. This is not locked down and is available to anyone, whether they gave you $5, $1, $0. Yes, that's how it ended up being. So that wasn't exclusive. And then also you can get access to the VIP. I had some patrons go ahead and do that. So you can get into the Facebook group as well without paying the $5. So you get it either way on that. So your $5 does not, in fact, give you access to that. Board game companies are usually actually quite great with their customers. It's sad to see you're not one of them, and your continued failure to respect your customers is disappointing. Expect a future video. Here you go. Okay. Now, I cover a lot of mistakes. And I cover some games or some game companies that have made mistakes. And I actually do exclusive videos unboxing their stuff now, right? There are game companies that have worked hard to be better because I give a lot of leeway for mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. Let's be honest here, right? Companies make mistakes. People inside of companies make mistakes, right? Posting the Discord, probably a mistake. Don't do that publicly if it's supposed to be some VIP thing. I think mentally they're just not even thinking about that. They're just saying it afterwards because they never advertise it that way, but whatever. The point is that people goof up. What's important is how you react afterwards to that. I tell my kids this all the time. I don't want you to be perfect, but when you're pointed out that, hey, you were just rude, or hey, you just shoved me, or hey, you just spoke over your sister, or whatever it might be, how you react to that is what matters. So if all you do is yell and point at some other company and, well, she did this or they did that, instead of just saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, that is what's important. So I don't expect perfection. I really don't. I expect that when stuff's called out, when your customers are saying, hey, why am I being charged more than everybody else as a VIP member when I was expecting an exclusive discount, your reaction is what matters. Now, there are times where you react initially with being defensive or whatever, right? So you'll get some leeway there too, but ideally you react well right at the start. Obviously, ideally, you don't make a mistake entirely, but just as an FYI, right? I don't just hate a company forever for things like that. I still buy stuff from Come On, even though I don't like some of the decisions they've done, and their reaction isn't even great. Their reaction is soulless, like their company, but because they're not trying to make a connection with you. They're trying to run a business or a corporation. They're not, they're not, they don't have really a face or anything like that. So anyway, just as an FYI. So how this progressed, well, they responded, right? And they said, we've been working with a marketing consultant. And they always mention that. It's important that you always mention that, hey, you're just doing what you're told. And have been guided to our current strategy in regards to our VIP program. The strategy was never about earning money. They increased it to $5 from $1 because, again, their marketing team told them to. And their initial reaction is, no, we're keeping that money. It's ours now. You do not get a discount of $5 based on that or anything. It's just that what you did was pay for that, and that's what you got, and we're not giving it back. So that, like, those actions speak louder to me, right? In other words, I get that you were following that, but when you increase the price from $1 to $5 so you get more, and then when you say, now that we got more, we're not giving any of that to any of you, that's just our money now, that's the issue. That's where it's like, I kind of think it is maybe about money. From the VIP payment, the concept was to identify subscribers who were most interested in backing us that's people who put their email address in your website and give you their email address are pretty well done. And that's what, again, all your competitors are doing. You're not in a vacuum. You can look at what everybody else is doing. Click on another RPG, see if they're charging $5 for their email list. See how they're advertising what that $5 goes for. If you don't find anybody else doing it, it's probably a reason. To help us shape our campaign. However, Long Dog Games now realizes that this was a mistake on our part. We apologize for the mistrust and frustration that has caused some of you, and we are currently working to right this wrong. We don't know yet what form this correction will take, but we are committed to making this right with our VIPs with the same commitment we've shown towards the construction of our game. You don't need to work on it. It's very easy. The money that's in your bank account now from all those $5, just give them a credit of $5 in Pledge Manager. They're done. I solved it for you. It's not hard. It's an instant, yeah, you can have your money back. We'll do that. Or refund it or charge it back. Or, there's a myriad of things you can do with the money that's in your bank right now. Like, just give it back. Please bear with us as we sort this out. Again, it shouldn't take that long, but this is our promise. We will be taking steps to fix this for you, our VIPs. On behalf of the Long Dog Games team, Jeremy. Now, again, this is after hours of saying, no, you don't get it back. No this, no that, defending, mentioning marketing, right? This is hours in now that they're doing this, right? And so my response is, it was never about earning the money, then why did you increase it from $1 to $5? More blind following. If it was never about the cost, then why is the stance still, even at this time, that you are keeping all those dollars in your bank account? If it's not about it, then what gives? Actions speak louder than words, and trust is earned. Currently, that is not earned from you, and the continued pushback from ownership of your actions doesn't go toward building that trust. So far, you are charging your biggest fans $5 more than everyone else, and the most we can get back after hours of this discussion is a small relent to look into the issue and continue blame shifting. So where did we end here? Well, this is where we ended. They responded again saying, we're currently working to right these wrongs. I just got off a call with my ad consultant and I'm very frustrated at this point, I imagine. Yeah, because this didn't work out well for that. But not at any of you. I'm frustrated that my team was not only led to believe the strategy was sound, but we were reassured that it was sound when I personally asked about this very issue that some of you have. I was told that these were non-factors, but in hindsight, I should have listened to my gut. We changed from one. That's because your gut typically knows right from wrong. It does, whether you conceptualize it or not. More often than not, we figure it out. We have a lifetime of learning the rights from wrongs, and it's typically pretty obvious. Just as an FYI, it's something I've learned in my years here. We changed from $1 to $5 with the knowledge that VIPs who pay $5 are significantly more likely to convert. Well, yeah, same with $30. Why not make it $30? $30. Anybody who's giving you $30 early, they're super likely then, right? I mean, come on now. That logic doesn't follow after a single thought. Then put down $1, which is more than just the email, which is more than just the follow me. Like, you can keep escalating if that's what you want. Our stance is that we acknowledge and hear the complaints that and that we're actively working to find the best way to fix these issues for all of our VIPs. We're definitely not going to hang on to the $5 and wave goodbye to anyone. My team and I are meeting to find solutions ASAP. I agree that actions speak louder than words, and it's my sincere hope that our actions over the next few hours and into tomorrow prove to you are genuine intentions, Jeremy. So the ball is now in Jeremy's court, and he can kind of move to it from here and figure out kind of how it goes. They continue to make money, which is great. It looks like a cool product, and I hope it is, and I hope it succeeds, and I hope people get a great product out of it. At the end of the day, this is a speed bump, though, that sadly will have long-lasting things. There are plenty of people that just we're canceling, and there's more even above that. And again, another cancel here. It's unfortunate. And a lot of people are like, I'm tentatively backed, but I'm not so sure. And, I'm confused about this, confused about that. And so hopefully it ends up well. Hopefully it does. But that is why you push, because that was after hours of pushing. Did we get that? That was not the initial reaction. If people had just been like, okay, well, I'm backing, but it would have been nice if that, they would have said, oh yeah, it would have been probably, but we were just following marketing. And then that's it. That's why you push. That's why you stand up for yourself, because you guys deserve more. Going back to the Everrain real quick. The Everrain took your money years ago, and for years, you did not have that in your bank account. For years, they had that in their bank account to run their business, to feed their family. Their family's fed because of your money that they took. Companies, if you're watching this, respect what that entails. I didn't just give money and then you hand me a game. I gave you money, and then for years you have my money that I could invest, that I could give to my daughter on her birthday, that I could take them out to have some ice cream, that I could do anything I wanted. I chose to give it to you in the trust that you will talk to me, and we'll keep the communication, and then you'll give me the game in return. Respect that with communication. Respect that with admiration. Respect that with respect. Like, show respect. We deserve more. Us consumers that are giving you all this money deserve more. More than if you were running any other business where you're just selling a product. Even then, they say what? The customer's always right, mostly right at least, right? Usually right? There's some customers that aren't right. But they're a normal business where they give me something and I hand them back shows respect. You should show more because we're doing so much more. You exist because of us. You exist because of us giving you money years in advance and being understanding when prices go up and being understanding when companies pull out of doing translations and being understanding of all these things as long as you show us respect in return, which means speaking to us, which means realizing what that is. That every single person that gave you $5 before they even saw your campaign page, that believed in your product so much that they were willing to give you $5 just to get on an email list so that they could be there day one. They deserve as much as you can possibly give to them. As much. So that's what I want to leave it with. You guys deserve more. You guys deserve better than what you get a lot of times. Don't ever think that you don't. Don't ever let them guilt trip you into thinking that, you should just, not complain and not push for change. That's how change works. It's how it works. You push and they do it. Otherwise, they'll just do whatever they want. Malicious or not, right? It just doesn't matter. It's not even on their radar. But if they know that they have a whole bunch of people that are trusting them with money but want answers, then you're that much closer to an investor. Because I bet they don't endure an investor. That's because that investor expects something for their money. And you should expect something for your money. All right, that's it. That's all I had, guys. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer. Hopefully that ended on a good note. You're special. You're great. We're all great. Hopefully great things come from this. I don't know about Grimlord Games. They may be a lost cause. They're certainly not handling it as well as Parasol, who's actually handling it better. And I'll spend more time on that because it was a progress, right? But I really wanted to hone in on why I push, on why I ask, on why I'm firm. I don't back down, and that's why, because I know that people deserve better. If people are willing to give you $5 before everybody else, they should get the very best deal, not the worst deal. So anyway, that's it. That's all I had, guys. I'll be talking to you guys again with another great video here very soon. I also have 2 reviews coming up, so be on the lookout for that. That'll be within the next few days. I'm going to have several reviews out for you, and there's just more coming. So yeah. Exciting days ahead. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys again really, really soon. Bye, guys.